Hey there, this is Sam Flegal, and I'm going to keep talking about my painting Tears Promise. If you've been following my videos, then you'll know that at this stage I am done. And I actually didn't record the phase of finishing because it, really, if you've watched the other videos, you know how it was finished, particularly in the video, the last one, part 6, on face detail. Really, you just do that to the whole painting. You know, it's about digging in and just putting the right colors in the right place and finishing, having an eye for when things look wrong. And today I'm going to talk about different areas of the painting, very specifically on how I went about finishing them. The first big change I'm going to show by comparing the sketch, the drawing, and the final painting. And that's the wolf's head, Fenris's head. I went in pretty extensively and restructured the head. Lip, the side of his face was elongated. That's specifically the right side, looking at the image. And so I needed to clean all that up. But also, he just didn't look menacing enough. And this became more and more apparent to me as I made him opaque. And so in order to get the effects that I wanted, I just repainted the whole head. And I mean, I didn't have to repaint the left half of the face largely, but the right half I did. And this means going in with opaque paint, very little medium. Sometimes I'd put in a little bit of dryer, but just putting in the paint, and sometimes it would take layers. So I would paint out big chunks of the head, get it as close to right as I could, and then I would either leave that for the day, depending on what time I was finishing up, or I'd work on another area of the painting and come back. This is not the ideal thing to do. Obviously, you can solve the problems in the drawing phase. You're going to be a step ahead of the game. But more importantly is making sure that that final piece has the vision that you want and fits nicely. And I'm very happy with how the wolf's head changed. Adding in the lower teeth on the jaw and making the eyes not have a pupil, making the head more narrow, and the wolf just seem more fierce. Now, another little trick I want to show is in the area around both Tyr's floating severed hand and around the hand that's holding his severed hand, and that's effect I do to create emphasis. Of course, the primary emphasis is created by having the lightest lights against the darkest darks, and that kind of targets you right to the center of the painting, which in this case is the hand holding the cut hand. But I'm also, that emphasis, I add just a thin line of a very bright color, in this case magenta, at the edge that kind of creates a, I don't know, I like the vibration that it creates. I use this same effect up in the severed hand where you can see this faint blue line around it, which adds a little bit of an ethereal quality to the hand, which is definitely what I was going for, as it's really become a kind of a ghost hand at this point, a symbolic hand. The original goal for this painting for me was to place a detailed character on this very stark, abstract white background. And so it's interesting is I actually found doing the abstract part some of the most difficult parts of the painting. And obviously it's meant to be snow or a big glacier in space, or something akin to that. But just letting myself make the marks and be free, which seems like it should be very easy, actually involved quite a lot of work. In one area in particular, I put down big marks, and then as the painting built up, it didn't quite work out. I actually pulled out sandpaper and scrubbed them down, scraped them off, and then painted over them, and then slowly it started coming to work. But working on this piece really helped me see how there is some work to abstract art. It's not simple, and I shouldn't say all of it, but in general, it does require some work, and I really enjoyed, I guess, playing with the paint and getting into that. In particular, I'm really proud of the blood that's dripping from Tyr's hand and from Fenrir's mouth. I placed that with a palette knife and just sort of very quickly dropped it in. The second little pool of blood, when I placed that down originally, I just placed it down red and it looked wrong, and so I wiped it back up and then got some red, some brown, and some blue and placed that, and it just worked great. So I really enjoyed seeing the colors come together and how they played with one another as I finished this piece. And that brings us to a close, really. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this painting come together as much as I enjoyed making it. I hope the videos were insightful and helpful, and hopefully you guys are out there painting and rocking and rolling on your own thing. So this is it. This is the final painting, Tears Promise, original oil painting by Sam Flegal. Hope you like it. I'm Sam Flegal.